Since Gartner announced SASE in 2019, so far the SASE market is still a very confusing situation. We think this is because although it shows a vision that can solve the complexity of the IT environment that customers are experiencing today, many vendors have entered the SaaS market without adequate preparation in order not to lose the market. Already, there are lots of cases where customers think it is SASE and introduce it. However, contrary to expectations, there are reports that more customers are still experiencing complexity and increasing cost. These growing pains also happen every time an innovation new solution comes out that is going crazy on the market. In order to provide a way for companies to choose the right SASE in such a situation, we provide a market guide to Gartner's single vendor SASE, why SSE is not SASE, self-test help presentation, GigaOm's top SASE, and etc. We provide updated content to help you select right SASE. Today, we will explain how to choose the right SASE that will give you the benefit of Gartner SASE through analysis of SASE vendors, current and future SASE. The main benefits of SASE are clearly defined. These are restoration of control through the simplification of IT infrastructure, flexible scalability and contraction according to business changes, and stable connection, performance through network services. As you are experiencing today, due to transition to hybrid IT infrastructure and the expansion of hybrid workplace, main WAN sections are increasing, and accordingly, various and numerous attack surfaces are increasing. To solve this issue, more diverse and many point solutions are being applied. After all, the complexity of IT infrastructure continues to grow and lose control. The reason why SASE is in the spotlight as the future of IT infrastructure is because customers have determined that it is a solution that can solve this issue. In order to help you understand what will be explained in the future so far, we have explained the background and benefits of SASE. Based on this, listen to the following explanation. It will help you understand what we are saying. SASEs in the market can be roughly divided into two types by referring to the classification method announced by Gartner, Self-Test Help, and GigaOm. These are portfolio single vendor SASE or pairing vendor SASE and cloud-native single vendor SASE created with the goal of SASE since birth. First of all, we will analyze and explain the definition of SASE claimed by the portfolio single vendor or pairing vendor SASE and the future pursuit. In the current SASE market, because most SASE vendors fall into this category, we cannot analyze all of them. Among the top of 6 SASE vendors announced by Gartner, we will analyze the vendors belonging to this category. Those vendors are Fortinet, Palo Alto, VMware, Zscaler, and Versa Networks. Analyzing what they claim to be the appearance of SASE can be summarized as follows. SASE is an experience model, not a technical model. Therefore, it should be able to be designed in user-customized manner by classifying who accesses them. In order to increase productivity, remote work should not require the same level of security as in the office. It is currently unknown whether the future direction of SASE will be cloud-only, cloud-first, or existing systems, and it must be possible to respond to the company's IT environment. A closer look at these claims one by one is as follows. SASE claims to be an experience model. The claim is that SASE is not a new technology individually looking at the capabilities cater, but it is a framework that integrates these things. This claim may be true on the one hand and false on the other. This may be true in the firewall, SWG, GTNA, and CASB. The core functions of SASE are not new technologies. However, it is completely wrong word in that it is a converged architecture with a single path architecture to take benefit of SASE. It is right when Gartner initially said SASE was a framework. However, the reason is that it is only talking about the process of developing SASE by vendors, and it is not saying a framework to the completed SASE. This is because the moment portfolio vendors acknowledge SASE as a new technology model rather than a framework, they fall behind the new technology called SASE and admit that the bundled products or point solutions that have been sold as SASE so far are not SASE. The reason why portfolio SASE vendors strongly insist that SASE is a framework is also evidenced the fact that it is not yet sufficient to provide the benefit of SASE. If you have heard the saying, SASE is not talking about an architecture, it is about the frameworks. In the meeting with the SASE vendor, you may easily judge that this vendor is a vendor that combines various solutions and collaborates with multiple vendors to provide a component of SASE in the form of portfolio. Next, single vendor SASE is customized to the user. It sounds plausible to say that the design should be customized according to the business environment of the company. But if you think about this claim once more, you can see that it is not much different from what you are currently doing for IT infrastructure. Your IT infrastructure may have SD-WAN, SWG, and remote access systems such as VPN, and there is a CASB probably that is recently purchased. You may be developing an integrated management system or analysis system to efficiently operate this complex equipment and services. It is also true that the portfolio SASE insists on the same direction, and so far it has been accepted in the market without much difference. The difference is that they claim to be SASE only when they assemble and build on their own product. So, when you hear these claims of a single vendor SASE, you could be mistaken as to whether we have already built and used SASE. The right SASE isn't a simple integration that jumps some traffic to SSE from the SD-WAN that many SASE vendors currently offer, and it doesn't even customize itself in accordance with the customer. Rather, the right SASE is about having the flexibility to deploy to meet your environment. The last content is claim that clearly confirms the portfolio SASE. Although many research institutes, such as Gartner, claims that SASE should be cloud native to address the complexity of the current IT environment, vendors in these portfolio types are saying, we do not know currently about whether will the future appearance of SASE be cloud only, cloud first, or an existing system. With the expression, we insist that it can and should be well suited to the customer's existing IT infrastructure. Why are we repeating these rather ridiculous claims? This is because most of the portfolio single vendor SASEs enter the market with their existing point solutions in order to enter the SASE market quickly. In terms of marketing, they claim to be SASEs, but they are well aware that their SASEs are not yet completed. That's why they already insist strongly that SASE is a framework. This is the situation most of the single vendor SASEs we are encountering today are in. Even when Gartner announces 6 SASE vendors in its market guide to single vendor SASE, it is said the SASE market is still in confusion. Gartner also says that the SASE market is still in confusion when it announces 6 SASE vendors as well through its market guide to SASE. Here is a summary of what we have explained. Although Gartner has released the SSE and the single vendor SASE is clear of the confusion in the SASE market, it is still not good enough to prevent the confusion. Except for Cato, most single vendor SASE still have a loose combination of SD-WAN and SSE versus network, which is developed in single software stack and claims to have strong unification, perform all functions in their heavy SD-WAN hardware equipment. And because Versa Titan, which is cloud native, is still lacking in infrastructure and functions, so they do not actively suggest it to customers. When we say it done all, the main thing used in just the Versa Titan, but in reality, it is designed for customers, focused on on-premises SD-WAN equipment. In most cases, the final appearance of a proposal is what it has been offered for over the past 10 years. Vendors claiming that SASE is just a framework are on their way to SASE and not yet SASE. Most vendors pursuing the combination of SSE and SD-WAN will not be the right SASE in the future, what you want. This confusion in the SASE market can be called confusions, and growing pains occurred whenever new technologies are launched. Fortunately, in order to clear up this confusion, MEF, the industry forum, has started studying the SASE standard from 2020, and it is said that the SASE standard MEF W117 will be announced sooner or later. Gartner has already organized the SASE vendors once by naming vendors such as Zscaler that depend on other vendors for network services as players in the SASE market. But many popular SASE vendors, including Zscaler, still claim that they are SASE correct, and it is also reality. We hope that MEF will create a specific SASE standard that you can clearly discern in this confusing SASE market. In the end, as the portfolio SASE vendors claim, that Gartner only means that SASE is nothing more than the complete version of the introduction and integration of new point solutions that companies have already done before. Then, why did Gartner say that the introduction of SASE can dramatically improve the network and security of the hybrid IT environment, which is becoming more complex due to cloud transition and the increase in remote work? If we listen to the popular SASE vendor's story, the complexity may eventually increase further by leaving the current complexity as it is, and as it introduces additional cloud SWG, CASB, DLP, and etc. That's the story. In my opinion, Gartner's continued ambiguity towards the SASE vendors may mean that they want more vendors to enter the SASE market where they have created. Gartner said that SASE should be convergence because we don't think we know the difference between convergence and integrations. This concludes the explanation of single vendor SASE, and in the next episode 2, we will explain about SASE since birth, which is a SASE since birth.